YouTube, what's going on? Heir of Itza here, and welcome back to the Itza campaign, where we're going to be trying to take out the unknown Skaven clan. That's what not scanless. I meant clanless. Whatever. Unknown Skaven clan. We got to take them out. What is Admiral Pardek at here? I know they patched it to where you can actually invade coastal cities with them, but I'm pretty sure we could hold with the army we got there in case he did pull that. I got Itza headed over here to cut off the unknown Skaven clan up here. We can't leave flax like that. Marched up there to get in his way, and then I'm in an. But we're going to need to. Gonna need to attack these Skaven and get rid of them as quickly as possible. We got the one stack there, another here. Let's see, two. All right, who we got here? John Hammond's army ought to be pretty good at smacking apart Skaven. Not terribly worried about it unless they're just like totally stacked with storm vermin. Let's see, we can get a skill point upgrade here for Hammond's army. Stand your ground, immortality, blessing of Itzel, proud warrior, draftmaster. Just finish off gifts of the jungle. Well, actually, yeah, gifts of the jungle. In case we need to replenish quickly at some point. I don't know that that's going to be uber important at this point in the campaign, but you never know. Never know. Got Patchy going to fall in behind here. And I'll send Furak that direction as well. And then let's go ahead and make an assault here with Gustav. We do have to skill up Lizard Wizard here. Let's see, Arcane Vassal. Can get him a Steggy. That'd be pretty fun. That would be pretty fun. It's at 24. I think I'm just gonna finish off the magic traits here for now. And then just go straight to like an Engine of the Gods or something if we're going to do anything with him in that regard. This will give us a chance to take out Fabrigir? What? He's Skaven. They just really don't know how to get a name. For whom the bell tolls, Skaven, it tolls for you. Itza is here. Folks, Gustav is finally back in action, and he's ready. He's been chomping at the bit. Got his hammer ready to smash some Skaven. Anyway, yeah, Fabrigir has his somewhat trash-tastic Skaven army over here, trying to pretend to take over the dwarf underways. And lots of warpstone in here. They've been busy working. Probably plenty of feces as well. Anyway, his army's going to be stationary here, hoping to use their skirmishing to their advantage, which I guess is why we get the goofy auto-resolve estimates or something, because maybe it estimates that they get to use more of their ammunition. I don't know how those estimates work, but it has to be assuming they get to actually discharge this ammunition. But I would indeed like to see how the Skaven stop the onslaught they're about to get hit with. I start things off with some chain lightning, because shocking rats to death is actually pretty fun. If you haven't tried it, you should buy Total War Warhammer 2 and begin. I think you'll find that it improves your day on any day where it happens. Now we got some Fire Leech Bolas swinging around the flank there too, looking awesome as they do it. And then these Ripperdactyls as well. So we're about to hit these Skaven in a full force charge here. Here comes the Skinks and the Croxies. Everybody's going to be hitting home, and you can see that the Skaven skirmishers are fleeing into the background, but they won't be able to get away. They're going to be caught, and they're going to be destroyed. There was a Doom Wheel there. I put a quick charge on it because it was almost dead anyway. And we made it all the way dead. Almost all the way. Close enough. See that the Skaven not really having as great a time of this as the auto-resolve predicted. Oh man, I love these. What is this, the cohort of Hualatl? These guys are amazing. Look fantastic. Crushing Skaven skulls. I mean, it really doesn't get a whole lot better. And I love the bell going off in the background. Like that's supposed to be somewhat frightening for us, but I guess the bell tolls the end of Fabragir's army here, because this is it. It's just hilarious seeing all these little skitter-leaping Skaven getting pulverized. Well, as has become typical, the auto-resolve far overestimated the armies of my enemies, and kind of gave these guys false hope. I would say that I almost feel bad for them, but, you know, I really don't. I just don't. Okay, I've got enough hit points to hit an encamp stance. We can go ahead and do a little bit of replenishment since they tore down our settlements here. I otherwise wouldn't be able to replenish. Magic resistance, meat shield, you gotta love it. Gotta love it. Oh, how do I want to finish things up here? Let's give our Croxies. It's gonna Spawnkin, Croxagors, missile resistance, melee defense, leadership. This I like. Yeah, that one's like all skinks. Cold one, Pterodon Riders, Ripper units. We don't have any cold ones, but we do have some Ripper units. I'm trying to think whether we want some more of these or not. Just go with standard ground. That could be useful for buffing up our troops. Looks like our other units leveled up as well. So let's go ahead and finish off Harmonic Convergence. Then Hola the Skink here can have an Ancient Stegi. Which, let's see what the difference is, by the way. Loses leadership and melee attack, but picks up damage. And gets decreased range. Ancient Stegi. Just some additional features. What is that feature that's popping in there? I can't... Is it Firewall Smoothing? Yeah, Firewall Smoothing. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Let's give him an Ancient Stegodon. Okay, so we took care of what we can take care of for this turn with the Unknown Skaven clan. And that leaves us to shift our attention back to Lothern, where we have kind of consistently beaten back one High Elf attempt after another in a very confident fashion. I should say I'm going to skill dump Croak so we don't have to look at that. I'm going to retake Kalidor's Repose. I don't intend to take all of Ulthuan. I never really wanted to be in Ulthuan to begin with. But we do need to get up here to the Shrine of Assyrian. And I'm going to see if we can chase out this, what remains of this High Elf army here. It's attempting to flee. So let's see if they'd like to stick around. Maybe have a little party real quick. Well, so Kana the Princess is doing her best forced camping possible to try and protect her elves, but there are some hungry dinosaurs and some fire-breathing dinosaurs that have a thing or two to say about the continued resistance of these High Elves. And they're not really wanted here anymore. Gonna unleash a lightning storm on them as well. I'm actually gonna kind of pull back for just a moment. I'm trying to get my Ancient Salamanders into position. I really like Ancient Salamanders, and I don't get to use them enough, so I really wanted to enjoy it for this battle. These poor lizards just want to burn someone. And these Lothern Sea Guard are just such a target. Anything in a relatively tight formation becomes easy bait. Easy bait for the Ancient Salamanders. So they're going to unleash, and now I'm going to attack with my army, because we've had a chance to hit them with everything. I'm going to curse them with the Midnight Winds, and the High Elves will curse the day that they ever declared war on Itza. Because Itza answered. Itza answered big time. And by the time it's over, I'm pretty sure the High Elves are going to be begging me to take control of the Vortex, just so that I no longer have to be taking control of them. And so Kana here and the rest of her army are absolutely falling apart while she eats volley after volley of javelins. It's an appropriate finish. Stuck with javelins. Horse definitely looks happy right there. Anyway, these High Elves just got nothing. Just nothing there. There goes the power bar, and after getting some fun kills, my Ancient Salamanders slightly satisfied that they got to breathe fire on their enemies. But, you know, it's never quite enough to make them fully happy. Well, unfortunately, there was barely enough kills to go around, you know? You kind of want it to be an outing for your army. Be a rewarding experience, but just... It's almost like there's not enough elves left to kill anymore. What's this world come to? In any case, we finished them off, and it is time for us to move on to better things here. We're going to get this Temple Guard and Saurus Warrior buff here. Want these guys to be absolutely top-notch. Here in Oath 1, they could be up against some very stiff resistance, depending on what the High Elves bring with them. And as for our Scar Veteran, let's give him Deadly Onslaught for now. That army's in good shape. Kalidor's Repose is back in our control. I want to put the defenses back together. And I think that puts us in a pretty good position here to go ahead and end our turn and see where we end up next. Alright, so Vashnar's Conquest is united against us. Okay, whatever. It feels like they're just desperately trying to pull together any last defense they can. Looks like Chotek's going to get burned down. And let's see, we got to chase down more Skaven over here. This army, John Hammond, is probably... It's maybe a little more apt to pursue, but I'm going to go ahead and just pursue with Gustav, but maybe a bit slower. We need to get over here. But he also, I don't know, we don't really need to replenish everything. Let's just push ahead as hard as we can. And then continue pushing Patchy after this army over here. I'm gonna push as hard as we can towards this Skaven army. Try and cut them off. And then I'll send another one north here. And yeah, we should be able to totally cut off everybody that's gonna get stuck over there. And then we're not gonna lose any of our key locations as far as I can tell here. This isn't actually sieged, I don't believe. Yeah, I mean, it's not sieged that I can tell. Settlements besieged. Spectazuma. It's okay, we'll catch up with them soon. And then Caverns of the Great Bat. We've got decent defense here. We're up against an odd army of chaos. That's a lot of Dread Knights. Black Dragon. I don't know how well we are equipped. We'll just let them play out their siege a little longer there. Yeah, and then we'll go take care of them as soon as we have a moment. Some of you might be wondering why I'm sitting on so much money and not rebuilding anything. There's really just no need at the moment. We need to get to the Shrine of Assyrian. Easiest path would be to just cut straight through here. So let's go ahead and take this tower. And then I think I'm going to leave Virakara's army to kind of defend what I've captured and push forward with Gor Rok, because he can operate much more independently and should be strong enough to take down literally just about anything that the High Elves can throw at him. So I'm going to go ahead and take Gor Rok and start trying to push this direction over towards the filthy wannabes here with the Count Noctilus. We're not at war with him, though. Am I really worried about being at war with him? I doubt it. I don't know that he's worth the effort, though. I'll probably just put the sea, come straight to the Shrine of Assyrian, and attack Alistar the White Lion. Ready to be assigned to a character of our choosing. Let's get him the better armor. He's going to be in some potentially challenging fights here. There we go. Starting to get some hand weapons here. Just make sure everybody's kind of armed. So I know that we brought in a lot of new characters and we didn't always have a whole lot for them. Alright, we've made our moves here. We've made our moves in Ulthuan. Have to deal with our skill points here. Skink Priest is getting leveled up very nicely right now. Let's finish Harmonic Convergence, Wind Blast. Some important things here. Where do I want to go with this army? I'm going to go ahead and just start resettling some of the stuff before another faction does it for me. There's no one here to hurt my army for having done this. Okay. I think we just need to issue a commandment here. And then we should be able to end our turn as soon as we give Titsa a skill point. Riperdactyl. Let's go with Rally. Wow, Skaven are actually going to attack me here. Holy hell pit abomination, Batman. Yeah, they've got 3 of them. This army is not ideal for this fight, but we should be able to get the job done. We've definitely got some tough characters here, so let's make it happen. So for the Unknown Skaven clan, Hellkeek has the best opportunity here to try and strike a blow to my forces. He's got 3 Hell Pit Abominations and a decent line of infantry supported by some pretty dangerous skirmishers. And they are in pretty high numbers. Skaven skirmishers in the campaign are truly annoying. They tend to be like better than any light infantry in melee. They can outrun everything, including your horses sometimes, and they just become very annoying. Now, the Hell Pit Abominations are going to be very weak to my Bastiladons with Solar Engine because I have flaming ammunition, and the Hell Pit Abominations should be weak to fire, but a little bit of friendly fire here by accident. It's almost like we're giving the Ancient Stegodon some flaming proctology. But speaking of flaming proctology, the Skaven are about to get their annual exam. While being doom-flocked, they're also going to be burned to death. So if you've ever wondered what it feels like to get burned to death by a lizard space laser while being attacked by a flock of angry birds, you'll have to ask this army, because they now know the answer to that question. And I'm assuming that the answer is, it hurts. As long as you're alive enough to feel it. Anyway, we got a lot of kills off of our ancient Engine of the Gods there. So now I'm going to start collapsing the flanks, but here is where the problem's going to be for this army. You can see they have Death Runners out here, they got Gutter Runners. We cannot catch their Gutter Runner slings, they're just going to be too fast. And despite the fact that our Chameleon Skinks are very quick, at speed 50, it will be almost impossible to catch the Skaven, who are even faster and are likely poisoning us in our attempt. You can see how quickly my Chameleon Skinks fall apart under the skirmish fire. Now, after that initial blow, we hurt the Skaven bad, but they weren't finished. They're going to continue to use their lightning and push every advantage they have. My solar engines continue to focus on Hell Pit Abominations, and they are doing tremendous damage to those Hell Pit Abominations, though these guys have a lot of hit points, and they're going to be annoying to kill. And you can see over here, these Death Runners, more than a match for my 2 red-crested skinks. They're not able to hold out in this fight, but they are at least holding them until I can get some further work done. And Hellkeek himself is being little Johnny Lives a Lot over here and somehow surviving up against a couple of units of Sacred Croxigors for more than a few seconds. That's just got to be the benefit of being an AI faction and not having to suffer the amount of damage that one normally would. We managed to drop another Hell Pit Abomination. We have another one routing and one near death here. So all 3 of them are almost gone. Fighting Temple Guardsmen doesn't go particularly well for the Hell Pit Abominations, despite the cheat stats that they get for being controlled by the AI in a very hard difficulty setting. There was a healing that went off on this Hell Pit Abomination. It's very annoying. It was almost entirely gone, but I have to expend even more ammunition on it. And despite the main Skaven force dying, you can see the balance bar is still sitting annoyingly in their favor because over half of my army has died because of the skink count there, and the Skaven still have 800 troops left. However, I'm not terribly concerned. We finally busted our way through, and our red-crested skink chief here, this is going to be Titsa, is going to be really diving into these Death Runners and letting them have it. Skaven Warlord, Hellkeek on his bell, trying to stay alive, and he will for annoyingly long. Went ahead and gave him an Amber Spear there, just in order to help him understand how much he needs to die. And we're having some problems cleaning up these flanks, folks. We're getting chased by a lot of units, and we got a lot of skirmishers still. So I'm going after the key units in order to try and tilt the power bar. And I want you all to see just how long HeirofCarthage survives in a fight where he is just completely and massively overpowered by many units who would be very good at killing him. But the way he rolls around and knocks everything over, and like all I said, all the buffs and stuff he gets, he just lives an annoyingly long time. I've been using my Bastiladons in the meantime to start tearing through a few skirmishers. We managed to kill quite a few on this flank, and I've got another group targeted over here because, again, we've got to get the power bar to swing, and cutting down their numbers would be pretty critical. We finally get some hit point damage done on HeirofCarthage, and he is finally going to rout. And at this point, we just have to deal with the remaining Death Runners. There are still a decent number of them over here, but of course they're not going to love fighting this many Kroxigors. And I do have just one shot left on my Bastiladons, and guess who it's reserved for? One Bastiladon with one shot, and HeirofCarthage thinks that he says, "Stay here, I'll go get help." Help's on the way, HeirofCarthage. You're welcome. Sorry, Skaven sack. Anyway, so that's going to pretty much rain on the Skaven parade, and a fun battle. Actually a challenging one for once. The Skaven definitely trying to put it to us here, but they're going to be driven from the battlefield. They just do not have enough left. And I'm using my Skink Chief and the Lizard of Oz here to chase down random skirmishers. You can see how much damage these skirmishers are able to do. I mean, look at their stats. There's nothing impressive here, folks. I mean, move along. Weapon strength 28, but look how much damage they've managed to do to the Lizard of Oz. I mean, yeah, it's just, and he was fighting an even worse unit over here earlier, which I think was one of these Death Globe units that we managed to rout. Yeah, it was this one. Poison Wind Globadiers. The Skaven skirmishers get away with a lot in melee and campaign, especially if you have the settings turned up, so don't let yourself get caught unawares by it. Well, we finally had a battle there that was a good challenge for us, but Teitza and his Skinks and Saras were up to the task, along with the Kroxies there, and they put HeirofCarthage to the blade and smashed his army. They're going to destroy the cavern of Lexigaur, whatever. Have fun. Knock yourself out. Alright, so we've made it through the turn end, and we can now get a little bit closer to victory still. I'm going to move up over here and try and trap some of these rogue armies up in here. You can see that Patchy has finally caught up because these idiots decided to stop and burn the cavern. They're going to be caught, and Patchy's going to finally get to have some action here as well. So let us take care of this. Alright, the unknown Skaven clan, led by Treyr, is hiding behind a pyramid. Don't much like these Skaven being anywhere near our sacred sites. I've got my Salamanders, Horned Ones, Spear Riders, and Ripperdactyl Riders moving around the flank. And then the main Skaven force is being faced down by the main force led by Patchy, the Slan Lore of Life. And Patchy is well prepared to support his troops with healing or other buffs like Shield of Thorns. And we've got all kinds of stuff available. We even got these two Bastiladons with the Engine of the Gods, or sorry, Stegodons with the Engine of the Gods, and then I have the Bastiladon with the Arc of Sotek. So we are well prepared for taking out rats. The rats do have some defense set up here, but I'm going to immediately start chasing out some of their skirmishers, and then try and get my Salamanders in position to start dishing damage, and then I'm going to bring my cavalry in at the right moment here. See that they are going to send some rat ogres out after my salamanders. We'll have to deal with them. But immediately we create a pretty nice Skaven blob back here, my main forces, and I am using Shield of Thorns to give physical resistance and dish out some extra damage. You can see that open up some very nice kills here with my salamander hunting packs, though they'll have to beat back a rat ogre, and here comes the Saras cavalry to support. And the infantry fight is well underway. And you can see the Arc of Sotek going off, snakes everywhere, and we all know how snakes like to eat rats. So it's a good time for them. The first burning realignment's going to go off, and it's going to be quickly followed by a second. And this Skaven blob is going to be pretty quickly melted. And my cavalry is pretty much free to roam at this point. They're going to burn right on through here. Horned ones are one of the few units that are actually pretty good against these Skaven skirmishers. Their speed isn't great, but they have a shield, and they have quite a bit of melee defense, and they will definitely cut through the OP Skaven skirmishers. Campaign, they're OP. I'm not talking about multiplayer. Whenever you turn up the difficulty, they're definitely OP in campaign, but they've met their match here. Not even the AI has any hope against this type of destructive power that Patchy has brought to bear. You see his Scar veteran in here trying to finish off the Skaven warlord. Let's get one final look at the life slan himself. After my namesake. Love it. Slans are such cool units. Anyway, another battle, another victory over the unknown Skaven clan. It's a good thing they're unknown, because they sure wouldn't want anybody to know about how many times they've been beaten down and how badly. Well, the great extinction of the unknown Skaven clan is well underway, as they have suffered loss after crushing loss. And Patchy's just gonna pile it on thick. So that leaves very few unknown Skaven clan left, which is exactly the way I like it. I am gonna go ahead and colonize here. A little bit risky because we got some armies to the north of us, but I got reinforcements nearby, and I'm feeling pretty confident that Patchy can hold his own. Missile resistance. Does one of these give us a bound banishment spell? That would be amazing. Ah, regeneration. There's so much good stuff for him, and so little campaign left to give it. He could be so great. Let's finish Dwellers Below, and then get our Scar veteran here. Give him immortality. It's always a good thing at this point in the game. Oh, he's got another skill point too. Fantastic. Could get Deadly Onslaught, and I think we will. Could be handy for those units if they got to really pour it on thick during a battle, and sometimes they do indeed need to do this. Let's keep chasing down our enemy here. We're actually going to be replenishing there, and then I think I'm going to take this army and just give them another resettlement order here, and just do everything we can to kind of get things rebuilt here. Teitza managed to defeat this army, and now he can finish them once we take him out of a forced march stance. So that's yet another unknown Skaven clan gone, and Chotek actually lived to see another day. I tell you what, how about that? It's quite the accomplishment there for him, to be fair. Let's see, jungle nominations. Give him the Spawn Kin. Should be pretty good for this army. Give them some benefits, and then we've got a few more skill points to take care of here. Natural camouflage. Ooh, stalk? Can you really have stalk like up on a Stegodon or something? That'd be amazing. I'm gonna try that. The Wonderful Lizard of Oz. Immortality for sure, because the Wizard of Oz, I guess, is immortal at this point. We did lose a couple of red-crested skinks that we need to pull back into this army, and we can recruit those now. Shouldn't be hard to reassemble. And I think that this is going to have to be a stopping point for this episode. Able to make some good progress. We've still got quite a bit of work to do. We're going to take attrition if we head out of here. During storms, there's probably like always a storm. I guess we could just roll through here and just hit the encampment stance. Go overland. What? I have 57%. Required to adopt 50%. Huh? Oh, I was in... yeah, never mind. I was in a different stance when I took off walking, and that screwed up the whole thing. My bad. My bad. Got a doubled up building here that we don't need there, so let's tear that down. Build this up. And I think, like I said, that's going to probably end it for this episode. I'm going to leave the Tower of Lycian open, because I want it to be a lure to the AI that likes to take pock shots at stuff like that it thinks is weak. So, like I said, I'm going to leave it open as a lure. So really, we just need to retake our settlements, rebuild. I think we got one more unknown Skaven clan, and then time to stop the High Elves. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you next time.